University. My name is Katie. I'm brand ambassador here at M&I. I'm a lead generation strategist, a supporter of U.S. manufacturing, and a productivity nerd. Angela and I are so excited to have you join us today. For those of you who are new to us, M&IU is free online learning led by industry professionals. We share valuable insights on sales, marketing, supply chain, and emerging trends. You can always access the expert content anytime at university.mni.net. At M&I, we connect buyers and sellers through our directories, Industry Select, which is an industrial prospecting tool, and Industry Net, which is an industrial marketplace. Also, we're very proud to be collaborating with the Small Business Administration on their new onshoring portal. But before we begin discussing Airtable with Angela Thurman of Thurman Co., a few requests for you. Please use the chat box for questions or comments. Feel free to mute yourself or turn off your cameras. This session is recorded and will be available on university.mni.net, MNI's YouTube channel, and via email later this afternoon. Thank you so much, Angela, for sharing your expertise once again. Please introduce yourself and take it away.
Thank you, Katie. So I'm Angela Thurman. I'm the owner of Thurman Co., a project management consulting firm located in Houston. And I'm so happy to be able to share with you some insights, tips, and tricks on using Airtable, which is a low-code relational database. It is so much more than just another spreadsheet application. It's one of my very favorite tools. I use it every day for multiple purposes in running my business. And I can show you some of the databases that I use in running my business. But I do have a workspace that I have created specifically for today's demonstration. And I want to make this a very interactive session. So feel free to unmute, ask questions, drop your questions in the chat, whatever feels comfortable for you. But let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you the workspace I mentioned. And if you don't already have an Airtable account, I'll send you an email after the course with the link to where you can set up your own free Airtable account. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So Katie, can you see the screen? All right, so M&I University 2025. Let's get started with just three simple bases. In Airtable, the database, they just call it a base. You can build them from scratch or you can use a template. And so all three of these I set up using a predefined Airtable template. So what I wanted to show you first, especially if you're in a manufacturing or you've got a small business, you probably have some inventory. So I thought this was a great one to start with. Hopefully everybody can see this okay. So this is the inventory template, and this is how it comes pre-set up already. It comes populated. Of course, when you open the template and if you want to begin to use it, you would replace this data with your own data. And if I just scroll across these fields at the top, this is the product inventory table or tab. And so you've got a product ID. You can actually insert images of those individual products. Then the product has a name. Here's a type, the price of the products, the colors available. Now you'll notice that this is a multi-select. So if I look at that, you see you've got all these different choices. And that's one of the things that I really like about Airtable is that you can build your fields to be specific for your individual case. And then the style, again, this is a multi-select. So if I click here, oops, sorry. If I click here, sorry, I've got all these different choices. So I've got that one they just chose women, I can choose men, all of these different styles. Then here's the location. This is the location within the warehouse. Here's the barcode number and the inventory. How many units of that particular product do they have? And then the units that have been ordered, the units sold, who the manufacturer is, the manufacturer's sale price, purchase orders. So what was the purchase order that they placed with that manufacturer to make those purchase orders, and then sales orders. So all the different information that you might want to have on hand readily regarding a particular product. And then here are the warehouse locations. So zone A, shelf 1 is for bags, shelf 2 is for bags, zone B is for scarves, zone C is for head accessories. Now that's just hats. And then shelf D is for miscellaneous. And all of the product inventory, here are those product codes again. Next is the list of manufacturers, purchase orders again. So here's that list of purchase orders that they had placed for the inventory. And then the sales orders. And that's probably what you really want to know. So inventory tracking, this is just a very simple template, but it's very rich with information. Now you can also see I can go down here and click on, instead of going across the top, I could go down the side to get that same information. And so here is the same information, so grouped by style. So here are all the products that are grouped by women, the products for men, products for children, for dogs, for cats, and unisex. And so that's just another way to present the same information. And I love that the template has that already created for us. So let's go back to the product overview. I'm going to open up one of these fields, these records, and show you exactly what is in each of the records. So this product, product ID ending in 5, here are the photos for that scarf. So here's the name of the particular product. There's the price, the colors it comes in, burgundy and desert brown. It's for women. There's where it's located in the warehouse. There's the barcode number. There are 34 units in inventory. They ordered 40 with that sales order, and they've sold 6. The manufacturer, the silver yarn, here's the contact name, the location, her email address. The manufacturer's price is $15. Here are the purchase order information. And then sales orders. So that product number again, the sales platform is at this farmer's market, and the sale price is $60. So you see all of that is stored within this one record. And see how nice and clearly that's all laid out. And so you can see it all when you blow up, you open up this record, or it's nicely summarized just as a line in the overview. Any questions so far? Okay.
I didn't really have a question. I did have a question, but then you answered it right away. So
Okay. All
never
right.
mind.
Great, great. So let's go back to another in template. So project management tracking. Now, as a project manager, I was really interested in this. So here is they first of all, they have some really great videos to help you get started. You can watch different videos on different tasks, but let's just get right into the work. So here is a high level overview of the different tasks. So I'm going to look at projects and tasks. And here are the different projects that are assigned or created in the template. So the first project is the Quantum Leap project. You can see all the work is already done, who the assignees of these various tasks are, start and end dates. And so that's great. That project's already done. And then the next one is the Mars Explorer project. The status bar up here tells us that this project is 10% complete. And we look at the individual tasks, and this first task is done. This one is in progress, and the rest are still to do. They're in to do status. We see again who is assigned to each of the tasks. Some of the tasks don't have an assignee, so that would be a problem. And then here are the start and finish dates. And the same thing goes on for these other projects, the Green Thumb project, the Infinity Finance project, and they haven't been started yet. They're 0% done. And here's one, the Data Dynamo project. It is 30% complete. Same thing, you see the tasks listed here, their status, who's assigned, start and end dates. So the status is either they're done, they're in progress, or they're yet to be started. So if I look at the Kanban, and I can select a individual project. So let's select the Mars Explorer project. Here we see all of the tasks that are in the to-do bucket of the Kanban. And I love how Airtable takes the very same data that was in the task list format and switches it to the Kanban format seamlessly. So Katie likes to see a Kanban. She likes to see the tasks move from to do to in progress to done. She likes to see it move that way. I prefer the the task list. I like to see things being checked off and dates being updated. So it's just a personal preference, but it's a great way to demonstrate which whichever preference you have. And then if I look at the management level report, this is something that's really handy if you have to give a report to your leadership team. So here's the status breakdown, how many of the total tasks have to be, are they in the to do or in progress or done? And here they are as far as the assignees, what that utilization looks like. And I can choose an individual project and it will update for that uh, percent complete, and it also shows you what percent is overdue. So if we've got 70% of our tasks overdue, that tells me that, something's a little bit wrong. We also have to keep in mind that this template was built a couple of years ago, and so based on today's date, it is going to show us that those are overdue. So, um, any questions on this? So
You were showing something back on one of the other screens that I had a question about. Can you show me the other drop downs you had? Can you show me Maybe it was the roadmap.
I don't think the roadmap is available in the free
Okay, then.
version. You have to upgrade to the team version to be able to see that. And
Okay,
the
that's
same
fine.
thing with the schedule. You don't see that in the free version. You have to update to the team version to see that. So with the free
Well, there's
version,
you showed that I had a question about, but now I don't even really see it. Can you go up to the My Tasks one, the next one up?
uh-huh. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I have never seen this. Is this like a dashboard? This is what it was. I had never seen this before.
well, this also you have to upgrade to see the full capabilities, but
Right.
yeah, what what's probably best is if you're looking at the project and tasks and if you want to filter, let's say that my name is Andre Williams and I want to see all the tasks assigned to Andre. I think that would probably be a good way to do that is to click here and look at the tasks assigned to Andre.
Okay, but the My Tasks, that the one above that is kind of like a dashboard, right?
It is a little bit, but again,
I
I
kind
think,
of like that.
yeah, but to see the full capabilities, you have to upgrade this.
Okay. All right,
But
thank you. That was it. I just wanted to know what that was, the My Task screen. So I
yeah,
hadn't seen it before.
but the workaround is to filter on the assignee, to look at the projects and tasks and filter on the assignee, and you'll see a
I like that one
overview.
too.
Yes, yes. So for project management, this template is really very powerful. And I like that you get these management insights. And then if you click on team, you see who all your team are, and whether you can look at who's full-time, who our contractors are, and then you can also you can add people. And then once they're added to the team, you can go back and begin adding them to a specific project. So if I go back here and I take that filter off, so where we've got someone here, this task doesn't have anyone, I can go in and assign it to someone. So now Isabel is responsible for that task. And again, this is where you can choose to change the dates. You can either just write it in or you can use the calendar, whichever you prefer. And then clicking on the task like that will open up the task view. You can add it. So launching a promotional event for the project, and then you could add some more description of what that task involves. You can add people. If it has a predecessor, you would add that as well. So this one does have one, and that helps align the cadence of the task. So it makes sure that um, that task cannot move forward until the predecessor task is completed, just like good project management. Okay. All right. So let's see. I want to go back. And then one I really want to spend a little bit of time on is a simple CRM. So this is a um, customer relationship manager, and it has again several videos that you can review in the template. Uh, to help you get started and about, what are some best practices for working in the CRM. But let's just dive into what the leadership team sees. So if I look at the dashboard that the leadership team sees, don't worry about these goals and so forth, because the CRM is built with dates from 2024. So if I'm looking at current quarter, that's not up to date. But we can see that average deal size quarter over quarter, that's populated. And then here's the team, what their individual performance is like. Opportunity analysis is in here. Average opportunity value. So we've got a nice trend line there. Forecast value by individual reps, and then forecast by stage. So qualification, evaluation, proposal, negotiation, closed won and closed lost. So that's really important. And then here are a number of open opportunities. So these are in progress. This one is stalled. Who's assigned? And so forth. So this is a really good high-level leadership dashboard. And then same thing, there's a pipeline. So that's good. But if we dig down, let's look at the individual sales rep, what they have. So this would be my dashboard. And again, don't worry about the quotas because the dates are wrong. But here's the average opportunity value quarter over quarter. And then the forecast value and the forecast by stage and by region and stage. So Latin America, EMEA, APAC, and then the stage that it's in. And then here are open opportunities. So these would be all of mine. So you can see
I
this is
assume you can edit which ones you see there too, correct? You can just
well,
change whichever
well,
blocks of data you want to view.
no, this is a dashboard. So these, I believe you can change the blocks, but I didn't have the time to go in and change that. So this is just the
Template.
pre-selected data that comes with this template. But what I want you to see is just how robust it is. It shows you all of this in your dash line or your dashboard. And then if I look at the pipeline, these are the deals in my pipeline. So it tells me, when what is the opportunity name? The owner is me because it's my pipeline, and then what stage it's in, the opportunity value, its forecast, the deadline. So when is the proposal due? When is it expected to close? When was my last contact with that opportunity owner? And then who the contact is with that account. And then again, who the account is. So it is possible to have multiple opportunities with the same account. So you would track both of those. So for example, this is in negotiation while this one has been closed won, which is great. So again, you don't have to necessarily go and pay for a fancy CRM if this is sufficient to meet your needs. And for a lot of smaller companies, it probably is. And what I want to point out is this is free. So just think about that. And and keep that in mind when you're selecting the tools that you use. Okay. All right. So let me get out of here. So then we've got about a half an hour left in our class. What I'd like to do now is show you how to create a base of your own. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want to create, and what Airtable does is ask you, how do you want to start? Do you want to build an app using Airtable's AI systems, or do you want to build one starting just from your own self? You don't want to use anything. You just want to start with a blank table. So I'm going to start one from scratch. And the first thing I want to do is give this base a name. So I'm going to call it, this is going to be my contracts database. And on the free accounts, you can use all of the dark colors. The lighter colors are reserved for the team plan, which is the upgraded plan. So I'm going to choose a color, and then I'm going to choose an icon to represent this. So let's just use this one. All right, so that's my contracts database, and I'm done. And says, let's get started. I could import something with Excel or CSV. I can paste in data, or I can build something using Omni, which is their AI agent. So let's try that. I'm going to say, create a contracts database including the contract number, um, party, the date, termination date, and type of contract. Also include fields for a contact, email, phone, and address. We'll just start with that.
Could you also then show how to import a list?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's see what it did. All right, so we've got contract number, the party, the effective date, the termination date, the type of contract, point of contact, email, address, phone. Looks good to me. All right, so I'm going to move that over. So the contract number, I wonder what kind of, right. So the party, let's see what kind of, I'm going to edit the field. This is a single line of text. That's great. Effective date, let's see what it gave it for a date. Great. Termination date, I'm sure it did that just fine. Now, for the type of contract, I'm going to edit this field, and I'm going to make it a multi-select. Ah, look, NDA, service agreement, sales agreement, employment agreement, a lease, or other. Sure, let's leave that. Point of contact. Let's see what it shows. Single line of text. Okay, that's great. Phone, I'm sure it did right on that. phone number, perfect. Address, long text, great. And you know what? I want to add in here um, a long text, and this is going to be my notes. Whoops, discard. I, that's just ChatGPT stuff. Sorry about that. We don't want that. I want a field here that says notes. Well, I want a long text and it's going to be notes. Okay, create that field. And then I do want to add a last modified. So that's going to keep track of each time these records are modified. Okay, now,
You should also include the file of the contract that they signed.
that is a great idea, Katie. So after the address and before the notes, I'm going to insert left, and I'm going to add an attachment, and I'm going to add the fully executed contract. And that's where I'm going to upload the fully executed contract. Okay. Now, just to show you an example of what this looks like, I'm going to go into my own Airtable account. Do, do, do. And check my workspaces. And look, here's my own company contracts. So I could add a status as well. So in progress or not, I've got, this is a multi-select. So here you go. That's exactly what I did. So I've got the date that I entered this, and then who is the party, contract number, contract type, status, POC. Same thing. That's exactly what I did. So that's how I actually operate my business is I use Airtable. I have a contracts database for my own company and each of my customers for whom I perform contract management services. And it's very, very similar to this. Okay. Now, Katie had mentioned uploading a file. And this was one I'm gonna build on my own. And we're gonna call this, I don't
I would
want
just
that.
do a simple CRM probably. I think that's what most people are going to want to use it for.
Yeah,
Um, the
M&I
list that I sent you anyway.
contacts. And we're gonna
Okay.
use this and we're good um, we'll just use that icon, that's fine. Now, oops. To do this, I want to import data, a CSV file, and it's my OneDrive. It's not finding it. Oh, I guess maybe it's not synced. Hang on just a second. There we go. Upload.
So the file that she's using right now, just so you guys know who aren't familiar with M&I or Industry Select, I just built a simple list in Industry Select. I chose a few industries, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and applied some other criteria like companies that had like 1 year employee decline and 1 year in sales growth. It's just a really small list that I exported from the system, which includes all the information on each of these companies, and then she gets this huge file. So that's what she's taken in.
So I'm going to delete those. So they're not complete. And so we're going to change this field name to be company name. Or company ID, I guess I should make that. So that it matches the, and
And for those who are using Industry Select, the reason why it's important to keep company ID is to identify where that lead came from for you, but also to map it back to any parent companies or child companies. And each different profile has a different ID, and that information stays with that ID. So I hope that kind of explains it for you.
what is this supposed to be anything here, Katie?
I don't think so. What is it? What
It
is
just says,
the additional information? It says attachment SUM. What is it? Is it attachment summary?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But the information just says required fields are something.
Okay, so you probably need like a company name, a physical address, a mailing address, phone, fax, website. You probably need to have all of those categories already put in here, maybe to, um, I don't know how you set that up, I
Yeah.
guess.
So we
So
will
maybe you need to map your columns first. Maybe you need to build the base, map your columns, and then pull that in, maybe.
maybe, yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and delete this for now.
Okay.
So what we've got then are just the company ID, the parent ID, and then the company name. So it was just that easy. Just import
When you
that.
click on the company name, does it do anything else? Like when you open that up, does it give you all the information on that company then or not?
No, that was all that came over.
Okay, maybe we need to do a different one.
Yeah.
Just you and I will do a video another time, just a short pulling over
Okay.
one. We
Yeah.
can show how it works.
But that's I mean that it was just that easy. So importing a CSV, you can also import other formats, and uh, and with that, you can begin to build your own contact database, which could be the basis of your own CRM. Okay.
So fast. It just popped right
Yes.
on over.
Yes. So if I go back and let's say I want to build it, right, tell me what I want to build. So, all right, so I want to create a database for tracking work instructions in English and Spanish. All right, that looks pretty good. So what do you think about this? Look how easy that was. So here's the data, and I'm just going to open up this first work instruction 1. So the English instruction says, turn off the main power switch before beginning any maintenance work. It automatically created the same instruction in Spanish. It created a little photo and the instruction summary, again in Spanish, and so forth. Now, Airtable has, I don't know how many different languages, but I could have said French, German. Okay, let's do that. Please add translations for French and German. Okay, so it created the fields, and now it's going to
So now
begin.
I wonder if you put in the instructions in English, then will it automatically translate all of them for you straight across the board? That's so cool.
Yes. So think about how effective that would be. If I mean, think about how many companies have non-English speaking employees, and they've got all of these work instructions, all, for their manufacturing processes or for their HR you know practices, and their employees to be able to to uh to, access them in their own languages. Isn't that just amazing?
That is amazing.
Yep. So here we go. There's the instruction, the French and the German. And
You
what's
know, I
really
do tech support, and sometimes people, write in and they are Spanish speaking, and my Spanish is really bad. So This would be really helpful actually for me to be able to record a how-to video, but then also have it in Spanish, and the
Mhm.
instructions in Spanish would be so helpful. I'm glad
Yep,
you showed that one.
yep. Now I can move these just by dragging and dropping. All right. So what I see is that we don't have the summaries. All right. So now I could say as well. Okay. So we've got about 10 minutes left, and I'd like to just open up uh, the floor for any questions. I know, Katie, you've used Airtable quite a bit, and Jody, you've used it a little bit. Ruth Ann, you have just gotten your account set up and have started maybe your first project. So, ladies, um, how can I help you? What kind of questions do you have?
Real quick, Angela, can I just ask you just to do a quick little bit about yourself and how to get in touch with you so that
Oh,
I
yes.
can do a
Mhm.
quick end, to the recording here for everybody, and then we can
Yes,
open up for questions and
yes,
hang
of
out and do
course.
stuff.
Um, So, like I said, my name is Angela Thurman. I am the owner of Thurman Co., a project management um, firm in Houston. My email address is angela@thurmanco.com. And you're welcome to, email me with any questions you have. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm usually there every day. and uh, and that's probably the best way to get a hold of me, through either through LinkedIn or just sending me a direct email. Mhm.
That's great. Thanks so much, Angela, for all the information you shared with us today on Airtable. I'm a huge fan. Again, if anybody has any questions about this still remaining on the recording here, please reach out to us at tech@mni.net.